guys? It's Michael and Kyle with AKM Tactical. Appreciate y'all watching. Today we are going to talk about the Glock 19, the most popular handgun in the United States by far.
For good reason.
Yeah, absolutely for good reason. It is a gun that most people carry on a daily basis. You can look it up on YouTube and see how many guys are hollering about their EDC as a Glock 19. A lot of instructors use it as their everyday carry. Some instructors use it no matter what. That's their gun. One cool thing about the 19 is that it's such a good gun that the Navy SEALs are actually fixing to adopt it if they haven't already adopted it. And they don't just carry around crap, man.
No.
They carry good guns.
And for it to unseat the SIG 226 as their primary sidearm is a big deal.
That's saying something.
Yeah, because a SIG 226 is one of the greatest go-to-work handguns ever made, and it's a solid gun. And unfortunately, I don't have the cash on the side to own one, but
yeah.
I will eventually. It's on my list. But for a lot of reasons, and I think one of the biggest reasons why it may be replacing it, and this is just me, is the weight of the gun.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter. With the polymer frame, makes a huge difference for the gun. Those guys, they carry a lot of gear around, and to have such a lighter gun. One cool thing about it too, though, is not only is its size is good enough that it's go-to-war ready, but it's also small enough that you can conceal it. So,
that's right.
I'm not saying that they are ever going to be caught in that situation, but what if they're ever caught in a situation where they need to conceal carry a handgun? There you go. They can do it with that.
Some of the guys do too. I mean, they don't just...
I don't know what all they do and don't do, but, it is what it is. It is our primary EDC, no doubt about it.
Not only is, when we're talking about that, not only are the Navy going to it, but the FBI is talking about making that switch.
Yeah, they're also talking about making.
Now I don't know if it's going to be to a 19, but it's going to be 9mm.
Yeah, they are. I know they're going to 9mm.
So,
but considering that they carry the 23 now.
Yeah, it seems like that.
It seems like they would probably just transition to the 19.
Like me.
That's right,
That's
like
what
you.
I did.
Like you did. It's no doubt it's our primary EDC. You've seen plenty of our EDC stuff. You know the guns that we carry, but the 19 is probably what we go to the most.
Since I've been shooting more, within the last year, we've really upped our game as far as the number of rounds that we shoot a month. And after doing just drills and scenarios, I just feel so much better now with the 19. I shoot that shield very well. I shoot my 27 very well. I shoot my 23 very well, but I feel comfortable with that 19. So it's become our go-to.
Yeah. Well,
for good reasons.
For good reasons, absolutely. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We have some points that we jotted down over here on a little cheat sheet that we're going to use. And I guess the first thing we want to talk about is reliability.
Glock doesn't do any one thing the best, but it does everything well, with the exception of reliability. I think I would give reliability a nod to Glock. I think it is probably the most reliable line of guns out there, mainly because it's easy to take down, it's easy to clean, it has very few moving parts, so there's not really a whole lot to go wrong in there, and it does everything well, but reliability, it takes the cake. And whenever I first started looking at guns, I looked at a Glock and I thought, God, that's ugly.
Yeah. Now they're sexy.
Whoa, man, they're sexy. God,
so if you want proof of reliability, just YouTube it. Look up. I mean, James Yeager did a 1,000-round torture test with a Gen 3 Glock 19. I mean, the freaking guide rod fell out of it, melted and fell out of it, and the gun just kept running.
look at all your police officers that carry Glock.
They carry Glocks every day.
Military.
Yep, military guys. Regular Guy Firearms channel has a Glock 19 that's got thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds through it, and it just keeps on running. So reliability is there. The guns are that's what they're known for, is their reliability.
Any gun that you buy, you need to take it and you need to run it.
You need to run
500 rounds through it probably before you carry it.
Yep. Just
to make sure you don't have any hiccups. But as long as you don't have a lemon, and there are lemons out there.
There are Glocks that are lemons. Yeah,
everybody.
absolutely.
There's always a chance of that. But after you check it, and if it runs those 500, then you're golden.
You're good to go.
Just make sure you have some good quality mags.
So, which brings us to our next point, which is shootability. These guns, to me, are more shootable than any other gun on the market. Not necessarily that they are more accurate than any other gun on the market, but we're not talking as much about accuracy as we are about shootability. These guns are very shootable. There's no bells and whistles and dinghies and safeties and put your hand here and flip this off and do this and that and the other. You pick the gun up, you pull the trigger, you push the mag in, you rack the slide, you pull the trigger, it goes bang. There is not a gun out there more shootable than that. And the trigger is, it's not the heaviest trigger there, it's not the lightest trigger there, but the trigger's in a good place to where it's pretty easy to shoot.
It's good for a defensive setup.
It's good for a defensive setup.
And the great thing about Glock triggers is they're all the same.
They are all the same.
I don't care if you have a 26, a 19, a 17, a 43, a Glock 37, whatever that may be.
Yeah, the 30S, the 21, whatever it is, any
Glock
of them.
triggers are all the same, and some people will say they're all equally terrible, but I mean that's your opinion. We're used to them.
Yeah.
And we run them, and we run them well.
Yep.
So and you'll I don't know if, I guess you rolled in some of that footage from earlier. You saw where we were shooting fast.
Yeah.
Now it was at close distances, but you know.
Yep.
Trigger pull was not an issue.
So let's talk about aftermarket support.
Another thing on shootability before we move on, talk about the girl.
Yeah,
the young
Mackenzie. The girl on YouTube, I think it's Mackenzie. I think that's her name. Anyway, little girl shooting a Glock. There's tons of videos out there, I'm pretty sure, but this girl's like 9, 10, 11 years old. She's taking fighting pistol with a Glock 19. So anybody can operate that handgun.
My girlfriend operates, carries a Glock 19. It is the perfect gun for a female.
Absolutely.
I would pick it up and give it to any female.
Yep.
That brings us to our next point. Aftermarket support. That's another thing that Glock does the best, is aftermarket support. There is infinite amount of aftermarket support out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sights, slide work, grip work, springs, triggers, magazines, base plates, holsters, you name it, they make it, and they make it for lights. They make it, and they make it for the Glock 19 usually before they make it for any other Glock, because it's such a popular model. And another cool thing, you know, talking about aftermarket parts. You know, here's a Magpul PMag. Well, another cool thing about Glocks, and I guess this kind of rolls into the shootability and all that kind of stuff, is the fact that you can change, the magazines are interchangeable. So like you have the 17 round mag here, and then you have, that's in the 17, and then you go to the 26,
same
exact magazine into the 26, and then you go to the 19, same exact magazine in the 19. So there's so much that you can do there by carrying the magazine that goes in the gun, and then carrying a spare 17 round magazine.
Well, and another thing, I mean, Comtac Infidel holster. The bottom is open, and you know, for these holsters to work on all of these, you need the bottom to be open. But 26, 19, 17.
And you can buy, like Bravo Concealment makes, if you buy a Glock 17 holster for the Bravo Concealment through or any of the Kydex lines, that works just the same. So I mean, the cool thing about having one like this that has the bottom cut out is it's a little bit shorter than carrying, say, the Bravo Concealment. I'm gonna bump the table here. The Bravo Concealment that's a little bit longer because it has a bottom in it, but it will work just the same.
Yeah, any Kydex or molded holster that will fit a 17 will fit a 26.
Which brings us to our next point, which is size comparison. The awesome thing about the Glock 19 is, and I always say this, it's big enough to fight with and it's small enough to conceal. So you can carry that gun easily, I carry it with a t-shirt and shorts on and have no trouble, you know. But then that gun is big enough, if I had to go to war with it, per se, you can go to war with it. Just to give you a little size comparison here. There's the 17. Oops. There's the 26.
Now that 26 is super concealable.
It is very, very concealable.
The butt of that gun is short. The grip, should I say, is short. So, you know, you're going to have that pinky that hangs off there. But, you know, you can, any time of the year, you can conceal that. Unless, you know, you're wearing a muscle shirt, which you shouldn't be freaking wearing a muscle shirt.
Wearing a muscle shirt anyways.
Nobody does that anymore.
But the one downside to the 26 is, if you want to, it doesn't have an accessory rail. So, like, can't put a light on it. Whereas, with the 19, there's a TLR1 right there. You know, which I wouldn't conceal carry TLR1, but I would conceal carry a Surefire XC1, which I'm going to eventually do.
Smaller and lighter.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's aftermarket support there.
Absolutely.
You can already find holsters that for the 19 that fit that that model. So
yeah. So guys, the Glock 19 is just, in our opinion, it's the epitome of what a handgun should be.
yeah,
It's perfect size, perfect weight
for a civilian,
absolutely.
especially.
Perfect size, perfect weight, perfect capacity. It's concealable. It's shootable. It's everything that you want in a handgun. Plus, and we didn't even talk about this as far as our notes. Plus, it's a $600 gun.
Yeah, cost.
You know, it's a $600 gun. Now, granted, you're going to have to put some aftermarket. Really, though, we do all this cool guy stuff to it. You know, we stipple the grip, and we, you know, I took the finger grooves off of mine and undercut the trigger, and we do all this cool guy stuff to it. But in the grand scheme of things, if you buy a Gen 3 or Gen 4, really any generation Glock, to be honest with you, but if you buy a Glock and put a set of sights on it, that gun is squared away.
Squared away, ready to go.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, the sights. I don't know why Glock hasn't changed those stupid sights. It wouldn't do any. It wouldn't kill them to put 3 dots instead of that field goal on the back.
Yeah, at least that, if nothing else.
But yeah, and we don't run. Well, I guess you might run 3 dots. No, do you run 3 dots?
No, not on my 19. My 17 has 3 dots.
Yeah, and we've been over that. I'm about the stacking the dots.
Yeah.
So
we're going to do a video on that. Some sight comparisons later on down the line. But you got anything else on it?
no, man, it's just the all-around gun. Like I said, it does 2 things the best. That's aftermarket support and reliability, and it does everything else pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the one that, if you know, lives were at stake, this is the gun that I own that I'd feel the best about, the handgun that I own. You know, if it's a bump in the night and I can reach my AR or my shotgun, I'm going for that. But as far as a carry piece, if I could only own one, she'd be it.
Be the 19.
Be the 19.
All right, guys. I guess that's really all we got. You know, I think we probably covered all of our bases there. But y'all know what to do. If you like the video, give it that thumbs up. Be sure and comment. Let us know what you think. We are open for discussion, like we always say. If you have any comments or questions or anything you want to, complaints, whatever, you know, tell us. We want to know. We want to hear about it. Like I said, we are open for discussion. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. I'm gonna leave links in the description box for that. Be sure, please share the video. We're trying to make this thing grow. So, as much help as you can give us would definitely be much appreciated. But like always, guys, we appreciate y'all watching, and y'all be safe.